Hello, everyone. So I was finally able to go see The Whale after it not playing in any theaters within my city for the past few weeks here. Finally was able to go see it. There was just the holiday busyness, of course, too, that came around, but I was very, very happy to go see this. I've been wanting to go see this movie ever since I first heard about it, since I saw the trailers. Of course, just go and support Brendan Fraser, who, of course, this film stars, directed by Darren Aronofsky, rated R. It is just a little under 2 hours long, and Sadie Sink is in this as well. It has a very, very great cast that it's able to bring within it. But yes, had to go and support. Had to go and support Brendan Fraser. Just it's been a huge actor in my life for a long, long time. So yes, very, very looking forward to this one. So without further ado, let me get into my review for The Whale. Brendan Fraser plays a character named Charlie, who is a very reclusive English teacher attempting to reconnect with his estranged teenage daughter. He has gone through a lot in his life, a lot of loss, a lot of grief, and he hasn't seen his daughter or really his ex-wife in over 8 years. Hasn't even talked to her on the phone, through text, anything like that. He barely gets anything about, again, her life. And he gets some news from, he has a friend who works night shifts at the local hospital. That's, again, the town in this film is set in place. And she diagnoses him that he has maybe a week left to live because through this loss, through this grief, he has completely isolated himself within his apartment and just indulges within his comforts, which unfortunately come in the form of not really doing much around the house, not going outside, not getting fresh air, eating, indulging, and of course in things that don't give him the proper nutrients, just again fill his comfort level. And it has turned him into a very, very obese person who he can't really walk around or do a whole lot within his life on his own. So it's very, very great that he has someone like Liz to help him around. But of course, all this weight and inactivity within himself, constantly working, barely sleeping, caught up with him, and he is given less than a week to live, like I said. And this movie takes place between 5 days, which is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And he reaches out to, again, his daughter, played by Sadie Sink, in an attempt to again reconnect with her. He hasn't seen her in 8 years. She has the belief that he abandoned her for, again, to just for love that wasn't with her mom. And there's just a lot of bad blood between them. She's trying to understand exactly why he would ever, like, why is now the time that he's reaching out. And it's very, very hard for, of course, Charlie to explain in a lot of ways. And how this film progresses is very, very tragic yet beautiful. I don't want to get into the spoilers too much, but a lot of the themes that this movie tackles is, well, kind of the main two. One is religion. There is a young man who, I think of him almost as a Jehovah's Witness, but for almost a doomsday cults, people who believe that the world is ending. They tackle religion with one another, where he believes he was sent here at this time to help save Charlie and, again, to save his sins and help God lead him into the afterlife, because he views Charlie as so lost within his own life. Charlie's a man who, again, when he's teaching, it's completely online. He never has his camera on. He doesn't want anyone to know about him. And again, he just doesn't leave the apartments. The entirety of this film takes place within his apartments, and it doesn't really leave any further than the porch, which is just right out front of his apartments, the complex that he's living in. So yes, the entire movie takes place there, and it really does a good job, again, just showing that isolation that he's been living in, and just, again, to his hiding from the world. And again, he's just seen so much pain that it's his comfort place. He doesn't want to leave it, but unfortunately it's something that's only hurting his health more and more and more, to the point where, again, too, it might be too late for his character. So the religion is tackled very, very well. The discourse and, I can do, just all the dialogue based around it is very, very good at showing so many sides, again, of faith, of religion, of how people view their relationship with gods, view their relationship with themselves in a lot of ways, and how a lot of the times text, a lot of the times, like, can be misinterpreted. Faith can be misinterpreted in a lot of ways, and not a lot of people get the again to the scripture and times in their life that's going to help them in a lot of ways. And again too, that's just how they clash in a lot of ways. And then another thing that this movie tackles, and they do it very subtly, but there's a lot to do with just how the American medical system, how the health system fails so many people, and just again with the monetary cost to get healthcare, to get medical help, just isn't there for people. It's an option where they have to sacrifice their own health and their own lives to ensure that their offspring, their future, for who knows what they're again to trying to save for, but they have to sacrifice themselves in order for other people to even remotely have a shot at life, have a shot at college, things like that. And again too, it tackles it very very subtly in a lot of ways, and it's just heartbreaking in so many ways. And the performances within this movie are absolutely incredible and easily some of the best that you'll ever see from all fronts, really. Of course, Brendan Fraser, just so much humanity within his character in ways that, again, too, just will break you down, have you tearing up, have you scared in so many ways, but also uplift you in so many ways when he, again, too, just wants to love his daughter and help her realize that she's an amazing person and set her up in every single possible way that he can after missing again half of her life, um making a decision that again to just separated all of them, and just again to wanting her to be happy, live a life where she knows she's amazing, that people are amazing. And even though his decisions hurt her, not to think that if she lets people get close to her that she's always going to get hurt from it. He just wants to rekindle that relationship, and also to just rekindle the love and the amazing passion for people, for loving with inside of her. And it's just absolutely beautiful. And again, to the humanity that he brings into his character, the empathy, there's just so much within it that breaks your heart at points. There's one scene where again to he wants to speed up the process of again his deteriorating health in ways that he thinks is going to help her. And it's just very very hard to watch. There was someone in my theater who was laughing at a lot of the like fat shaming, things like that, that this movie tackles and goes in. And as you could tell, everyone else in our theater was getting really annoyed and pissed off with, of course, this one moviegoer who just wasn't getting what was again being presented in front of him. And it's just a harsh reality that so many Americans have to live with, and see a decision like this, not just Americans, but people who are really taking advantage of by the healthcare system. And again to just the monetary structure of just a lot of the things that the health system is built around. Sadie Sink brings a lot of trauma, pain, and just her character is so dynamic in a lot of ways. And it's hard to like her in a lot of ways, but you can feel for her. You seeing her mother and that relationship come out, it's just again too, she has so much depth within her character. Ong Chai, who plays Liz in this, is incredible, absolutely incredible. And like every single character that they have in this is just so dynamic. They have so much backstory, so much trauma that fully gets flushed out, and you understand their characters in a lot of ways, and understand their flaws, their strengths, and how sometimes their strength can be their biggest flaw. Same thing with Charlie, with Brendan Fraser's character. It's just amazingly written, and just again too heartbreaking and beautiful all in the same. It's just an incredible movie. And again too, with Darren Aronofsky, we all know his metaphors, his symbolism within everything is just so apparent, and it definitely is within this movie. And again too, just having it stuck in this apartment for the full 2 hours is just very very isolating yet effective in showing the message of his movie, showing all the emotions of Charlie, of Brendan Fraser's character, and it's just acted absolutely perfectly. So really, without getting the spoilers or saying too much more, I'm gonna have to give The Whale a 9 out of 10. It's almost damn near perfect. The only really thing that I can knock it for is that it can be predictable at some points, but in ways that are extremely effective, and in ways that again too, even though you know it's going to go down, this still hurts to watch, or it's amazing to watch in so many ways. It's just again beautifully written, can be predictable at times, but it's just so effective in every single shot, piece of dialogue, piece of acting, that is within the entirety of this film. So if you've seen The Whale, please let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. And of course, if you like this review, definitely give it a thumbs up, and you can check out everything I do on the channel through a playlist. Well, I'll link them up top here for convenience sake. Thank you for subscribing, turn that little ringer on so you know when I upload new videos. If you want to check out the description of this video and my channel bio, there's a link to the Medium Mountain, which is my Discord, where we talk about movies, video games, comic books, TV, pretty much everything that's awesome in this world. So you can definitely join that amazing community, help make it even more amazing than it is already. And yeah, just awesome, guys.
Sky blue eyes, I see a world behind them. No more time, sinking into the silence, reaching out for something